Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 20th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. Today we had a lot of news that came out. First of all, the CPI numbers here for British pound here, very positive numbers. We saw that everything is in the green here. So as a result of that, we saw pound yen really take off. And then we had Canadian dollar numbers here. The yearly numbers went down a little bit, but overall, we did see a monthly CPI number was positive, and then the US data here was overall positive. Aside from that, we had FOMC meeting minutes, and in the FOMC meeting minutes, we saw that the Fed is keeping the monetary policy stable, and they are willing to have an accommodative monetary policy at this point. So coming up here in Asian session, we have employment data out of Australia. So we saw a lot of positive sentiment in the markets today, especially in the equities. And part of the reason there was because of there was a news article that said the number of coronavirus new cases were declining. So that was positive. And we've also seen that yen really dropped today. And a part of the reason was because of the equities markets doing really well. But another reason for the decline was that the GDP numbers for yen were negative. And so that shows that the Japanese economy is not likely to do well. So this is the second time that the numbers have come in negative. So overall, it's not looking good, especially because of the extra taxes that the Japanese government has been putting on businesses as well as households. So overall, all of that is a negative for the Japanese economy. And as a result, we saw the combination of not just buying in equities, but our positive sentiment in equities, but we also saw selling of yen. And as a result, we have seen the yen crosses drop. And we'll take a look at the charts in just a moment here. Coming up on Thursday here, we have retail sales numbers out of UK. So as we have seen, the data coming out of UK has been positive so far. So if we see more positive data here, we are likely to see British pound go up. Another important thing that we do have coming up tomorrow is the ECB. So we had FOMC or Fed today, and tomorrow we have ECB. So at this point, we have seen that euro has dropped quite a bit. And if we see that ECB is concerned, we are likely to see euro drop even further. So keep that in mind. And then we have consumer confidence numbers out of euro. Again, they're supposed to be holding steady, but if this number drops further, this will be negative for euro again. And then we have PMI numbers out of Australia. PMI numbers are important because they are leading indicators. Same thing here for Japanese yen here. So if we see the numbers that come in below the previous numbers, that will be negative. But if they come in positive like they did last time, that would be positive for the currency. So here we had seen that PMI numbers for Australia were good. And if we see positive numbers come out, that would push the Australian dollar higher. And we had seen negative numbers for Japanese yen. And if we continue to see these numbers, negative numbers, then we're likely to see a further drop in Japanese yen. So let's go on to the charts here. We'll start off by taking a look at euro dollar here. As we can see, euro has been dropping for quite some time here. Now, today we do have a bullish candle close. So overall, I'm neutral on this. So heading into ECB, we could get a pullback. And in terms of pullback, the first level would be 1.0820, and then potentially into 1.0840 or even 50. So basically, I'm looking at a bit of a zone here between 20 and 50 here, looking for a pullback, and then we could see a further drop. So either a move like that, or we could get a further move to the upside and then a drop. So if the ECB is dovish, if they are concerned about the economy, then we are likely to see euro drop further. So overall, my bias is neutral for euro. I'm looking for it to pull back further into 1.0820 or 1.0850. Now, should it break this level here, then there is a lot of room to the upside, and we could see it go even further into 1.09 or even all the way into 1.0925. So keep this in mind. For now, I'm looking for a bit of a pullback. I'm not really looking for a huge move to the upside. Now, should ECB come in really positive about the economy, that will push it up. But other than that, not really expecting a huge move to the upside, but I am looking for a bit of a further pullback in euro dollar. So looking for a move higher here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, we did see a drop here through the support level that we had talked about yesterday. So bias is bearish for pound dollar. In terms of the pullback, we could get a pullback into 1.2950, or it could go all the way into 1.2970. So overall bias is bearish. Next target is 1.2875, and then below that we are looking at 1.2820. So bearish bias here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, we did see a drop, but price pulled back. So overall, there was a lot of positive sentiment in the equity markets. And when we see positive sentiment in the equity markets, generally we see Australian dollar go up with that as well. So it pulled back here, but it's into support here. So it's not looking awfully bullish at the moment. It is looking neutral right now though. So we could get a further pullback, and I'm looking for a potential pullback into 0.6700, and that's the level we need to watch. So I would look for a pullback like that. If it holds below, then we could get a further move to the downside. But if it crosses today's high here, then it can go all the way into 0.6750, which is towards the top of this range. So right now, I'm just going to keep an eye on this and see if it goes through the 0.6700 level, because that would mean it is likely to go all the way higher. So at this point, the bias is neutral for Aussie dollar. So if it holds below 0.6700, then I am looking for a further move to the downside. Now we do need to see a drop below 0.6660, and if that happens, then the target is 0.6600. For now though, bias for Aussie dollar is neutral. New Zealand dollar, this is looking neutral as well. We did see that move right into the support here, but price went all the way back and forth here. So the price here, what we see here is a doji. Price opened and closed at about the same place here. So bias is neutral at this point. It is into support, but as we can see, just like the Australian dollar here, when price came into this support last time, it bounced off of this level. So that's what we need to keep an eye on. If price bounces off of this level and crosses today's high to the other side, then chances are it's going to go all the way into 64.50 or even potentially higher into 64.70 and then 64.90-ish level. So the important place to keep an eye on would be 0.6410. Now, should it stay below that level, then we could get a further move to the downside. So bias for New Zealand dollar today is neutral. Dollar CAD here, we saw a drop in dollar CAD. Canadian dollar is looking bullish here because of the monthly numbers. CPI numbers came in positive. So we do have a bearish candle close here. So bias is bearish. I will look for price to move lower. Target is 1.3180. And if it goes below that, we're looking at 1.3150. Now, price has already pulled back into 1.3220, so as long as it stays below that level, I would look for a further move to the downside here for dollar CAD. So bias here is bearish for dollar CAD, and targets, like I said, 1.3180 is the first target, and then the second target here is 1.3150. All right, silver. So we saw that actually the commodities did not do too poorly. So even though we saw the equity markets go up, so generally the way this works is equity markets go up, yen crosses go up, and gold and silver go down. Today, we are not seeing that relationship carry through. So we saw equities go up and gold and silver went up as well. So here we do have a bullish candle close here for silver. So this one here is looking bullish. The next target is 18.50, and then we have 18.65 here. So in terms of pullback, I would look into this 18.33. If it holds above this 18.33, we could see a continuation. Now, if it doesn't hold above, it can go all the way into this 18.15. So this one is looking bullish, but I would be cautious with this one. We need to see how the different relationships sort of come together. And we could see a complete reversal of this one if the positive sentiment continues with the equity markets. So just be mindful there. But for now, bias is bullish. Next target is 18.50 and then 18.65 for silver. Gold here, gold as well went right into our target here. But as we can see, it is into resistance at this point. So if it doesn't get through, it can reverse. So watch out for that. But in terms of the pullback, I would look for a potential pullback into 1605. And if it holds above the 1605 level, I am looking for a further move to the upside. 1620 will be the next target here. And so 1620 is the next target. Bias is bullish for gold. And then gold here. Gold went up as well with the rest of our commodities here. Big bullish move in oil. It went right through the resistance here. So bias is bullish here. Next target is 54.40. And then we have 55.00. So bias here is bullish for oil. And in terms of the pullback, we could get a pullback into 53.00 and then a further move to the upside. So bias here is bullish. First target is 54.50 and then 55 as a second target for oil. Copper went in both directions. We do have a neutral candle close for copper. So with this one, as long as it holds below this 2.58, we could still get a drop. So watch out for that. As long as it holds below this resistance, this one is still a bearish. So, but today, because of the neutral candle close, bias is neutral, and I would watch out for 2.58. If it holds below, I'm looking for it to go back towards 2.50. So neutral bias for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin has actually dropped. It wasn't able to go through the high of the day, and we have a bearish candle close here. So bias is bearish here. In terms of a pullback, I would look for a pullback 97.20 or even into 9,800. So with the pullback here, if it holds below 9,800, we could see a further drop here. So the first pullback level is 97.20 and then 90. Equities here, let's take a look at S&P 500 here. Equities have been very bullish. Now, it is into resistance, prices into resistance. As we can see, it is trying to go through. Bias is bullish based on the bullish candle close we have for the day. Next target here is 3,400 and then 3,450. So bias is bullish. Now, if it fails to close above today's high, it can drop, but right now it is looking quite bullish, and looks like the entire market is excited about equities to just keep on going up. So bullish bias here for S&P 500. Nasdaq as well looking very bullish. It has gone through the high. So next target here is 97.80, and then we're looking at 98.50 for Nasdaq. So bias is bullish. And then we have Dow Jones also looking bullish. It held above the support level. Next target is 29,580, so bias is bullish. Now, do keep an eye on the level where it is at currently, 29,500. If it doesn't go through, it can drop, but for now, it is looking bullish. So bullish bias, 29,580 will be the second target, or will be the next target. DAX here, DAX is also looking bullish. We are right into this resistance, and once it goes through, next target is 14,000, so bullish bias for DAX as well. FTSE also looking very bullish. We have a nice bullish candle close. Now, do keep in mind, it is into resistance. So if it doesn't go through this 74.70 level, it could drop. But at the moment, it is looking bullish. Next target is 75.30 for FTSE. And last but not least, we see that Nikkei has actually opened higher here. So it is looking bullish as well. In terms of our targets, we're looking at 24,000 for Nikkei. So bullish bias for Nikkei as well. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.